Good morning, everyone. Good this Sunday morning. I hope you enjoyed your extra hour sleep. I was up and down all night now. I'm afraid I didn't have a great sleep. I didn't sleep very well last night, but that's me. But I'm sure all of you did sleep well. And I think Kenny was up till very late this morning. I see you on the group still putting messages. You stayed up quite late, Kenny, didn't you?
Well, the thing about it is that because I knew he had that extra hour, but you know what's happened, right? It's because I go running I'm doing running, not lifting weights like I used to. It's actually making me much more fitter, and like I said, I'm having great sleep, and it's really good for things like your blood pressure, heart rate as well. So what's happening is that it stops all the aches and pains and everything. So hi Omar, and what it does is that it enables. Hi guys, it enables you. Morning everyone. It enables you to have a good night's sleep. Plus, I knew I was coming on this anyway, so I didn't want to sort of like tempt fate. You're so impatient. I was actually arguing with someone on a WhatsApp, and I really should have made you a priority and not that person.
No,
but we're here now anyway.
Anyway, let's not worry about that, and let's start this morning with the news that our friend Nicholas PEPE could be missing. I wasn't seen in training yesterday.
Oh, hold on, Steve. Steve, we'll definitely discuss that about the box office thing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. We'll keep that in. We'll talk about that later. And you did bring a good point up before we started the show about that, and we'll bring that point up as well. So Nicholas PEPE could be missing today. Is a major doubt for the game. Kenny, do you think that's going to affect us a lot? Because he's not really been playing that well, has he? So I suppose he'll just be he'll put Willian there. And
I think the thing with Nicholas PEPE is that he does give you that outlet. You know what I mean? If we are trying to go on the front foot and try to play the attacking football that a lot of Arsenal fans want, because Nicholas PEPE. Has got loads of skills. He's very quick, and also he's prepared to shoot as well. He's good on set pieces as well. So is Willian as well. He will be a bit of a loss, and because we're now playing counter-attacking football, that is something that's going to definitely harm us as well. Because one thing that although Nicola's inconsistent for me. He does have that quality. You just when he scores those free kicks, scores those goals, you think, yeah. You see his performance in the cup final, the semi-final against City. You think, yeah, that's what we paid our £72 million for. And I think that's the thing with Nicola. He is going to be a big loss to us if he doesn't start today, or we can't even have him at all on the bench. So yeah, that's a big loss. But the onus is on Willian to be that player. Chelsea fans have told me, Ken, you big up Willian and you see the highlights, but he only has 1 in 4 good games. Well, let today be the great game he's going to have, and let him be on the front foot. But it all depends on our manager. Our manager is a massive problem in terms of the way he sets us up and our approach. He's overcompensating for the fact we couldn't defend him and couldn't mark the spaces by, being too cautious and making us a counter-attacking side. I don't know whether that's to suit Aubameyang. I don't know, because he's building the side around Aubameyang. Maybe the playing style suits Aubameyang when we do play counter-attacking. I don't know, but that's moving forward. You're only going to be a good cup side. You're not going to win leagues like that, or even get top 4.
Well, I'm looking at this. I'm looking further into this, but it was notable by his absence from it don't actually say mistraining, and now I'm reading into it. Extensive range of photographs taken during the training session. Well, does that really mean anything?
You know it is, right? And I say this with great disrespect, right? Photographs mean nothing. I mean, people thought that took in a lot of how do I say it? They took a lot into the photographs of Mesut Ozil speaking amicably with his manager or high-fiving him, and they think, well, they seem to be getting on, so it couldn't have been the manager's decision to omit him from the playing squads. And I think people read too into it. And the problem we have in social media is that our photographer seems to be some sort of like a superstar. I mean, I mean, how can the Arsenal photographer get 350,000 followers on Twitter? He's the photographer. How can he get all these things next to us? He's a bloody photographer. He's not the PR man. He's not the manager. He's not the under-23 coach. He's the bloody photographer. The photographer. Why is he getting so much importance?
That was the world we live in. I mean, I'm getting noticed for just shouting in a camera, so I get noticed.
I'm not too funny, right? He's a photographer. Is it because he's got the Arsenal thing? What if he stopped working for Arsenal? Would he lose all his followers? I mean, come on. Photographs are photographs. It could be loads of things why he can't be there. It could be that his child was ill, because I think, did they just have a baby? It could be anything, you know? Let's wait until 6:30 when the teams are announced, and we'll know whether he's in the squad or not.
It'll be about 6:15. It's an hour before, isn't it? Kickoff's time.
Is it 7:15 kickoff?
Yeah.
All right.
Strange time. It's a strange time, but
also strange time. It's an extra game.
Yeah, no. Normally they're about 8 o'clock. Them games, isn't they? I know it's because it's Sunday, isn't it? I suppose. Yeah. Listen, Martinelli. There's a bit of good news about Martinelli. And he's looking really. He's bulked up a bit, isn't he?
That's very good. But Martinelli's only going to get in the team if Aubameyang's injured, because Martinelli plays particularly like Aubameyang to the extent that he likes to run deep. Not so much.
He can run down the middle. Can't he run down the middle?
No. You want a proper centre forward. If we're going to play the way we play, regardless whether it's 5 at the back or 4-3-3, you want a proper centre forward. And I mean, when I mean centre forward, I don't mean goals. I mean work rate, playing with your back to goal, being able to hold the ball up.
He could be doing.
No, he can't, Claude. Claude, he can't. It's a myth. There's reasons why Martinelli and Aubameyang play where they are. Let's just get people. Let's not harm their qualities. We don't want to turn Aubameyang and Martinelli into an Emil Heskey, do we? Do you want them to be like Firmino?
Yeah. Anyway,
the modern centre forward.
I like him.
I hear you, Claude. I respect you saying, but the modern centre forward isn't exactly an Aguero. It's more like a false number 9. And you certainly don't want to play with Martinelli and Aubameyang in those positions and kill him. You want to put him in a situation where they make him run some deeps, getting him goal and having shots and goal and scoring. Surely.
Okay. I'll keep you to that one, mate. It's also saying he's back to training with the boys as well, so that's not bad. He could be back in January. I think they're talking about, which is not far away. I can't believe how quick this year has gone. It's only a couple of months away, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the reason why this year's gone really quickly is because the thing is the day because of what's happening with like coronavirus, everyone working from home, and the days are just getting shorter. They're still the same time, but you feel they're getting shorter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, Smith Rowe. This is a kid I want to see more of, actually, and I've been really going for it. And it's come with high praise from Arteta, but he didn't seem to want to put him in the squad on Thursday. At least put him on the squad when there were actually spaces to be put on there.
I've got a Spurs fan in here, Mr. Maker, and also the super chat before was actually emphasising what we said about Aubameyang, where Arteta, I didn't get out the wrong side of bed, bad boy, you naughty boy, bad boy. Anyway, in terms of because I haven't cut my hair, that's probably why he's saying that. But in terms of like the previous super chat, they were talking about how Arteta is saying that he wants Aubameyang to play kind of a left winger side of style, which obviously fans don't approve of, and I do get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd like to see this Smith Rowe come get.
No, I don't, Mr. Maker, you naughty, naughty boy. Go and sit in a naughty step.
Anyway, that's Arsenal dealt with for a while. I want to talk about last night's. I thought was I think you're going to see it differently because I know what you're like. You're going to say the art of defending, and I know you're going to come out with this, right? I know it.
Yes.
I know what you're going to come out with.
Yes.
But by God, it was hard to watch that. Mind you, I heard the guy on the football terrace say that it was a masterclass from Ollie. I think that's going a bit too far.
Yeah, but you know, like I think what's happened is that Terry's entitled will say that, and so is any Man United fan because they've had a few hammerings this time at home against Crystal Palace, hammered them, battered, beat them up, and Tottenham just took advantage of their defensive ineptitude, indiscipline from Martial, and the fact that they just didn't want to mark the spaces. You know, Man United and Chelsea, right, seems to have accepted their lot. They know they're not going to win the league. They know it's about the top four and then getting a good run in the Champions League. They're not stupid. Solskjaer's not a stupid boy. He couldn't afford another defeat against Chelsea, and Chelsea couldn't afford to concede more goals because Frank Lampard would be under pressure. That game was always going to be a 0-0. Both teams were.
Yeah. I said it in my predictions. I put the predictions down, and I thought myself after I put my prediction down for the game, I thought there's two sides. Leaking goals, they'll be out to, and then thinking, they're going to go out to stop that. So they're going to sacrifice their attacking talent.
Did you blame them, though?
Both sides attack. But the only thing with that is it's actually getting the right balance, and getting the right balance. But
if you look at the midfield. Look at the midfield. I hear what you're saying. I respect, and I hear what you're saying. But you look at the midfields that both sides played, all right? The midfield, those midfielders, right, especially with McTominay and Fred, they were there to protect the defence at all costs, and they were there to make sure every runs of the ball. You know, even when he made substitutions, he put Fernandes on the right wing. Why did he put him in the right wing? Because he didn't want him in the middle where he can give the ball away, and then what the teams can do is hit him on the counter attack, and Chelsea be able to run into the defence. He wanted him out of harm's way. He wanted a situation where both teams just wanted to score on the counter attack. That's all it was about. And it was when both teams were getting tired, it was a case of last-ditch defending by both teams. You know what I mean? And I think Chelsea have conceded a lot of goals at Stamford Bridge against Southampton. They also got battered by Liverpool, and it should have been more goals as well. So you can see from their point of view that they're petrified of getting a hammering. Man United have always although they're doing well away from home, they can't bet at lose another game at Old Trafford because Solskjaer could lose his job. So it was understandable, that result, but for a spectacle and for a neutral, it was a wretched game to watch.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It was horrible. I mean, it never, to me, it didn't really. It just. See, I think people want to see the likes of the forwards, the stars shine, and I didn't see anyone in the stars shine. Werner, I don't even know if he was playing. Rashford didn't do too, but he had a couple of good moments. In fact, the goalkeeper made one wonderful save from him. I thought that was in, but he made a great save. He's a big guy, isn't he? This keeper, he's a very big guy, and he really put that one over turned that around. It was really good.
Yeah. So you've got a super chat from an Everton fan, Trace Linton.
Where is it? I can't see
Trace
it.
Linton.
Have I missed it?
She's got a question to you. She asks if Everton will finish in front of Arsenal if both coaches started their jobs at the same time. What next for us? Should we not wait another season to see improvements? Yes, I think she's a Gooner, but she wants to know what the situation with Everton and Everton with Ancelotti and Arteta with us.
Let's get this right. Arteta, for me, you can't compare the two because to me, Ancelotti is proven. He's been there, done it, worn the T-shirt, hasn't he? The CV is incredible. CV he's got. Not many have got better CV than Carlo Ancelotti, have they? And you're talking about a guy against a guy who's just walked into a job after putting down cones for Guardiola. So let's get the comparisons right here. It's not going to be as simple as that. But he's done a brilliant job at Everton. He's done a really good job. At first, when he came in last year, he had a lot of players he needed to shift out and bring in. He's done that. They seem to be blending together. but I think that's a tough game today. They got at Southampton. They'll have to be on their ball because Southampton, they're the sort of side that can turn it on at a moment's notice. So that'll be a tough game for them. But at the moment, they're doing really well. And I do like James Rodriguez. I like the other guy, Alan. Alan, is it Alan?
Alan, yeah.
And they brought the centre half from Norwich. So he'll do a good job there as well. So yeah, good things are happening at Everton, and hopefully good things will happen at Arsenal eventually. But we shall see. Liverpool back to winning ways. Yesterday had a bit of a scare first with the penalty. I think it's a strange decision there. I thought he got the ball there, Kenny.
No, I think what's happened is that it's nowadays.
Didn't the foul look at just outside the box?
No, not at all. Not at all. The rules are. It's the rules are. If it's on the line, it's in the box. So for me, it's the fact that where the incident happened isn't an issue for me because of the rules are pretty clear. All right, Kerry Abbey's asking about the Leicester game. We're definitely going to get into Kerry about how we're going to get on today. Kerry Abbey, thanks for the question, Kerry. But in terms of the actual incident, I look at it now and I think it's the way he tackled. I think what it is, right, is that it's like referees don't like you to do the scissor tackle. You know what I mean? Even he might have got the ball, but he's got part of the man. But if you look at what happened on Tuesday in Paris, if you look at some of Wan-Bissaka's tackles, I think there was a tackle, was it on Neymar or Mbappe, where he does a similar sort of tackle in the box, and it's kind of a scissors tackle, but he gets the ball. But the referee sees that, and he closed the incident. You know, you've got Dean, who let's give him some respect. He was close to the incident. He didn't think it was a penalty, but Dean has been asked to look at it again, and by Dean looking at it again, he's made a decision. I personally think that it looked like a tackle. The fact that where it was is not an issue for me. I think it looked like a tackle, but give him the juice. That's what VAR there for, to apply the rules. Right,
he got the ball. He looked to me.
And that's the thing. There was a similar tackle from our friend Wan-Bissaka on Tuesday on Mbappe in the Champions League. So it's one of those things where you want some consistency from referees, but you've got to remember you can only demand consistency from British referees, not referees in the continent, because referees in the continent referee the game a lot different than they would in this country. But for me, it wasn't a penalty. But you know what? The beauty of VAR is that it evens itself out. One thing I would say about VAR, we haven't seen any controversial handballs anymore given since the situation against Tottenham and Newcastle. Just saying, because I saw a couple of instances where I thought in the last couple of weeks where I thought, why the referee looking at VAR give a penalty there?
Yeah. Actually, United have made a point. I think he was talking about the penalty incident yesterday regarding
Maguire and Azpilicueta.
Yeah, was it a penalty for you in your opinion?
To be honest, I've seen them not given. I've seen them not given, and I think what's happening is it's referee's interpretation. If he hasn't interpreted, seen what's going on, then you can't give a penalty for what you don't see. He could have gone to and the thing about it is that the VAR saw it as well. The VAR didn't ask the referee to go and have a look at it. So that's not an issue. It's all right for people like Clinton Morrison to Evra and Hasselbank and Kelly Cates to say, oh, blah blah blah. Doesn't matter. VAR didn't think that was a penalty, and they didn't go and call referee. Simple as that. But I have seen them not given, and I've seen quite a few of them given. You know what I mean? But for me, I can't. I'm not going to go and say, oh, VAR this, oh, Chelsea were cheating, or Man United were cheating, because let's face it, I'm not a fan of either team, and I don't particularly like seeing penalties given for that anyway. That's my personal opinion.
Wasn't that a bit of a UFC challenge on?
Well, I think what's happened, if you do it in slow motion, right, and you do a still photograph, you're going to see his hand round Azpilicueta's neck, Azpilicueta screaming blue murder, and then that's it. It's a penalty. But if you see it in real time, right, it's basically a Maguire putting his arm around his neck and using the lad for leverage. It's still a foul. It still can be deemed a foul, but I don't really like being penalty. If it was a shirt pull and blah blah, he wrestles into the ground, I could see the referee giving it. But if it's a situation where he's got him around the net, used him as leverage, and headed the ball away, the referee, looked at it and still hasn't given a penalty. There's nothing you could do. There isn't much you could do about it.
No, I agree. I think, they are the ones. These are the sort of ones they are either given or they're not given. Sometimes they're just. Yeah, I agree. Other games, Palace, I suppose, routine win against Fulham. I think a lot of teams are gonna.
I fear for Fulham. I really fear for Fulham. I think Scott Parker. You got a super chat for Don Arsenal, so don't forget that. You can read out whilst I'm speaking. But Scott Parker really needs to probably play conservatively, like Lampard and Solskjaer does, and play conservatively like Arteta for the time being, just to get Fulham a bit of confidence and some clean sheets. Because that's the problem with Fulham. They're not keeping clean sheets, and they don't look like they can score a goal. So if I was them, to compensate for the fact you can't score goals, then I'll try and play a bit more conservatively, because I look at Fulham and I don't see where the goals are coming from. I really struggle. I know Mitrovic, he's a great goal scorer, but he only seems to do it in the Championship. When he's in the Premiership, he always seems to struggle, and he struggled as well in his first season with Newcastle. Although a lot of that was to do with indiscipline. I really do think that, when Ryan Brewster was available, I don't understand why Fulham didn't go for him. A young lad knows his way to goal. You're trying to play attacking football. He's quick as well. And he hits the box. You rely on someone like Mitrovic. I know he's your main man, but he doesn't score goals at this level. I don't understand why Fulham didn't go for him. I'm flabbergasted. If any team needed goals and a goal scorer, it was Fulham.
Game. Also, by the way, I think Fulham will be very struggling to get double figures.
Yeah, but even so, they've got discipline. You look at what's happened with Camera on Eze. He's gone for the ball and blah blah, but his studs are showing on the ankle. You don't really need that. You're 2-0 down, and you're trying to get back in the game. A goal could have changed it all, and then you come on, you get sent off. That kills the game. All right, you get a goal in the 95th minute, a goal by Kearney, but that's just too late. Fulham really needs some major surgery. It's no good looking for defenders. Get a goal scorer.
They haven't changed the back four from the season when they went down, have they? I don't think.
Well, not such that. They bought a back four that got them up for the Championship. Let's face it, they only got up for the playoffs, and they had a very good game plan when they played against Brentford, who are everyone's favourites, and they actually played that way. If Fulham could replicate that game plan that they used in the Premiership, just to get them over the line a few times, get a few 0-0s, maybe sneak a goal here and there. That'll give them confidence and impetus, to crack on. The way it's just too open, the way Scott Parker's playing. It's too open. No one's marking spaces. You've got Hector, who basically you're playing high line with a guy like Hector, who basically goes up for a corner and stays up there. He doesn't track back. He's a central centre half who, when they're on the counter attack, he's out of position. He's trying to chase the game. What's going on now?
Yeah,
it's silly.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go on to the game on Friday night. Villa going in there with a 100% record, but they got undone by a Leeds side who've really impressed me this year, this season so far. everyone is having a go at Martinez. I don't think you could really blame him on that goal. Come on, that first goal. He had no chance with the other two.
Yeah, but they're not really having a go at Martinez. They're having a go at people like yourself and me who have reservations about Burnt's suitability to being our number one. So it's basically a punch in the nose for us that I'll go and support Aston Villa if you're behind Martinez. It's not about that. The fact of the matter is that goalkeepers make mistakes, but not all goalkeepers make catastrophic mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think that was a catastrophic mistake, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't. But the thing is, Leeds got what they deserved. I
didn't watch a lot of the game. I didn't watch it a lot. I only saw the little bit of highlights. And if you look at it, he made some good saves as well, didn't he? It could have been even more than 3. So,
well, the thing is, Leeds had 27 attempts away from home against Villa. It's a team that's won every game, the team that's virtually top of the table. So, hi, matey.
Gary,
Spurs fan.
They're playing Burnley away. That's a tough one, but I think it's a good time to go at Burnley for Spurs.
Not a team that can't score, Claude.
Yeah, the way Spurs are playing, I've got them down for a convincing win there tomorrow.
Don't say it too loud. You'll be accused of being a Spurs fan.
What I feel. I mean, I don't give I'm not bothered what people think.
You know, we're meant to say, "Oh,
you know what they say, Ken.
Arsenal Magic's top.
You know what they
say. You know that one.
Sticks and bones can break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Is that right?
That is exactly what it was. All basically, when we were kids, we're 8 years old, they'd say, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, what you say is what you are," all that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So it's sort of the playgrounds and Christ the King. But I think
Darren Clark made a good point earlier. I've lost his message, but he made a good point about the refereeing standards in England not being very poor, and it doesn't help. And when you look at VAR, they are the referees that normally referee on the pitch.
I hear you. They were saying, was it Carragher? I don't know who was one of them, Carroll or Neville, say, why don't you get the best referees in the VAR at Stokely Park? I don't know if it was Carroll or Souness, one of them was saying it. But I say it again, the reason why the referees are poor in this country is because of the pressure that is put under them by the media, football fans, players, and especially managers. Whenever a decision doesn't go a manager's way, they boom, 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 boom. And then what will happen is that you'll have an hour rather than talking about the decision. Of course, referees are going to be scared to make a decision. Of course, they're going to be scared to use their discretion because the scrutiny they're under is unbelievable. On the continent, people accept the referee's decisions because what's happened is that, if you raise your studs, that's a free kick. If you raise your studs, even if you're going for the ball and you injure a player, it's a sending off on the continent. The tackle from behind is virtually a sending off. You back chat or swear at a referee, you're sent off. There's no discretion. The game, these referees look good on the continent, but here, you can't have it both ways. You want referees to use their discretion, and then when they use their discretion and they miss something, you spend 2 days blasting them. I mean, there's no winners here. You either let the referees follow the rules and don't moan if they give a penalty at White Hart Lane in the 95th minute when the rules state that if it hits a certain part of your arm, it's a penalty. Accept it. Don't go and say, "Oh, blah, we don't like this," and blah blah. That's what puts them on. That's why they're poor. You know what I mean? Yeah. You slag off Mike Dean and Oliver, but they're the best in the business. You know why? Because I don't care what you guys think or what anyone thinks. They do their jobs, and most of their decisions are correct. But because they tell managers to go and get stuffed, and because they have a go at players, and because they want to be part of the show, they're bad referees.
Right? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Kenny, on that. There is pressure, and it is a poor standard. I mean, I'm sort of in favour of having foreign referees, but I don't know if it would work.
Well, they've tried it in Scotland. They did it in Scotland, didn't it? When there was a referee strike, they did get referees from abroad to referee in Scotland, so it can be done. But the compensation for the compensation we have is that when an English team plays in a Champions League final or Champions League semi-final, Europa League final or semi-final, quarter-finals, anything like that, you do get foreign referees refereeing those games. And you notice that these English players, when they play against each other, against a foreign referee, right, they tend to behave themselves because they know they wouldn't get away with any nonsense that they get away with British referees.
Yeah. I've got to agree on that. What was we going? We was coming to.
Let's talk about Mike Dean. Mike Dean still does his job properly, but I hear what you're saying. He can be. He's arrogant and aloof. But what came first, Darren?
Yeah, agreed. Also, I want to talk. We're changing the subject slightly now. I want to talk about. There's a lot of campaigns going on now to get this $14.95 pay-per-view scrapped. In fact, I'm hearing now that Sky are now re-looking at the situation, whether it's because they're getting apparently Sky have been getting a lot of stick over this, and they're now re-looking at it again. Hence that you haven't seen, they've only put a certain amount of games up at the moment, so there might not be pay-per-view now. Apparently, we might be going back to what we had before. But you put a good point before we came on air about how much you've saved money and by not going to games. And in the last season or so, what did you say? You saved about quite a lot of money, haven't you? And we've all saved it because we were going home and away. I saved a lot of money as well because, to be honest, so it is a lot of money. So should we really because we're not always going to be, our team's not always going to be on box office. Is it really that much of horror to be paying that £15?
I hear what you're saying, Claude, but the thing about these campaigns, from the AST, and other YouTube channels, they mean well, right? There's no doubt they mean well. They think they're speaking for the majority, all right? And they think because you have people who pay Sky who can't go to the games and BT, and then we're asking for more and more money. I do get that, but for every 100 person who's going to join their campaign to put money into Islington food banks, I'll tell you now, there's about 1,000 people who will pay for that game because they are season ticket holders at Arsenal, and they're going to rationalise the fact that they've saved tons of money by not going to football, and to the extent they probably saved up. Well, I can only speak for myself. Saved up enough for next season and the season after. All right. For me, I'm paying the £14.95 because I whatever happens, I do not want to watch Arsenal on an iPhone. I do not want to watch Arsenal on an iPad on a buffering screen where I'm going to be 30 minutes behind the game, and I'd be stupid enough to put Sky Sports on and go, "Oh, Arsenal just scored." Oh, when have they just scored? Oh, just now. I can't do that. Got the greatest respect.
I'm like you, Kenny. I hate.
Claude, I've got the greatest respect for people who can do that, but I don't want to do that. And there's thousands of people like myself who feel the same way, who are going to pay that money because Arsenal are playing. They don't care, and because they're going to make that sacrifice because they're not actually spending money going to football because they're season ticket holders. And that's the thing. There's other people who are going to pay it. You can't just say, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, and blah, blah. You're not actually, when you have these causes in terms of like these movements, this is not fair and blah, blah. You need to tell your followers the real story, why Sky are doing this, and whether it's fair or not. Don't just say, why are they not doing it? Now, you and I know Sky are doing this because they charge a lot of money, and the Premier League charge a lot of money as penalties. Because why they charge penalties? Because they have sold their TV rights to Australia, South Africa, Asia, parts of Europe, to United States and America, to Central America, South America. They sold those rights for a lot of money, because these guys are meant to be exclusively watching the 3 o'clocks. And so if they're paying for the 3 o'clocks and you charge them big money for it, they've got a right to ask for that compensation when you're moving these kickoffs so it doesn't suit their TV schedules at the last minute, because you're doing it at the 11th hour. You also cost them advertising, and you're also messing up the schedules. So they've got to answer to their shareholders and their advertisers. So of course they're going to charge you. So because Sky are getting charged a lot of money in the Premier League, they're going to say, wait a minute, ask the fan. Because we've only promised the football fan, a certain amount of games on Sky. So you say about four games a week on Sky, and about 1 on BT Sport, right? That leaves all the rest to go on the 3 o'clocks. Okay? So if that's the case, right, and what you guys are paying for and what you've agreed to pay for is the BT Sport package and a Sky Sports package, logic says to me that those 3 o'clock games are extra games, which is not part of your package. So if they're extra games, they're going to ask for that money back. Now, I'm no businessman, but I'm not an idiot. It's quite logical they're going to ask you for that money. Whether it's right or not, nothing to do with me, but it's logical, because they've got a cost and they've got to pay this money back. So maybe the price is too high, £14.95, and maybe that you're saying, well, why should we pay the same amount of money? It's not like a one-off boxing event where it's on about three times a year. This is done every week. Maybe they can reduce the prices, but the principle's there. And I think that's what these people who mean well need to explain to their followers.
Well, yeah, I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree with you more, mate. I think if you really want to see your team, you don't mind paying it now and again. And it's not as if the teams are always on that box office, is it? It's maybe 3 or 4 times a season, probably. So, and the rest of it.
Kev Sullivan, he's right. It's great money that's raised for the food banks. And I've got great respect for that. And that's an excellent cause. But all I'm saying, Kevin, is for everyone who's boycotted it, there's going to be loads of people who just think, you know what, I'm just going to pay the money because you know, I want to actually watch them. I want to watch the money on a good screen. I want to get it live. I don't want to watch it on a buffeting screen. You know what I mean? And I probably don't. There's always going to be people who are going to want to protest, Kevin, and others who just going to want to go along with it. It's life. People just like that.
You can raise it. You still can raise it. You don't need an excuse to raise it for a food bank or anything like that. You don't need an excuse if you want to put even a couple of quid in. You don't have to. You don't need that.
I think what's happened is that the spirit. I think what's happened, the ACT and other huge YouTube channels, Twitter accounts, they're basically taking their lead from the spirit of Sanctuary, especially in terms of what they did yesterday for the game against Sheffield United, for Liverpool's game against Sheffield United.
Yeah, I won't go into that organisation. I've got no time for it at the moment. I just, they think they're when they want your support, they can slag you off all year long. And when they want your support, they're like, oh, I've got no time for them or any of them, to be honest with you. Yeah, I've got problems there. So, what's this coming out? Usually a Premier League ticket is usually 40 quid and is 30 less than expensive, but at the same time, as the same people are complaining, and they watch it illegally.
Spot on, and that's the thing. Someone and that's the thing you do get with protests. Epic is that a lot of people who are protesting actually are not genuine to the cause. Some of them will never have paid it anyway because, with the greatest respect, some of them are abroad. So they're not going to be charged the £4, the £14.95. There's also going to be people who are genuinely.
I've got a super chat.
Yeah. Right. So I'm just going to go that quickly. Who genuinely watch it illegally anyway and are proud to do it. So that's not an issue to them. But there's going to be some people who, are going to think, come on, I'm paying this much a mate for Sky and blah blah. I can't afford this. Come on, my club I love, and I do get that. They mean well. They do mean well. But, not everyone's going to follow it because, there's going to be conformers and non-conformers in all sorts of issues like this. What's Bargrave?
Alex Wilden says good morning to you, Kenny, and good morning,
Hello,
Alex. I hope everything is all right, well with you and your other half who's not been very well. Hope she's on the way to recovery.
I hope your other half's feeling better, Alex.
Also, Bargov has come in with a super chat. Thank you very much. Kenny, per game is ridiculous. They should be do a league pass like in the USA for NBA, NFL games. 150 for every game. Also hit. Hold on a minute. 150.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's 150, 100 or $50. I think Bargraf will sort of will clarify that. But I see where Bargraf is coming from. But I think the issue is, Bargraf, is that in this country, we already have a package of which, at the beginning of the season, Sky and BT have a pledge where they barter for games. And then they have a commitment to show about 120 something games over a season, and that's what they pay for. So what's happened is that the packet. Let's just be honest, right? If we didn't have the pandemic and there was no football fans, we had some semblance of crowd at football, this issue wouldn't be there. People, the £42 whatever people pay for Sky and BT combined or a little bit more wouldn't be an issue. It's because we've had a situation where there's extra games which are not part of the package that you're paying for, and people want it for free, which I respect, and we were getting it for free because, in terms of helping our morale, and the government pressure helped us get that. But as a business, we can't. It's not But he was right. Bargraf is right. That's how much it is. It's not the kind of package that was going to go on forever.
Yeah, per season. That's just all games in the league, not a game.
Yeah, but I think Bargraf, what's happened is that Arsenal Football Club, alongside all the major clubs, were more than happy to do their own streaming service for games that were not shown on which were not going to be shown on Sky and BT Sport. But the Premier League refused because simple reasons that those they've already got a deal with the overseas companies and Sky and BT Sports, so it was a non-starter. World Media is non-starter. I think what football clubs are trying to do now is that they're inviting clubs to come in.
Yeah, don't know what's
hospitality pitch where you're a group of six. So I do get where you're coming from, but all avenues have been looked at. But I think what it is that after the international break, they can remove it or they can reduce the prices. You know what I mean, Claude?
Yeah, definitely. It's it'll cause a lot of debate this, but there is talks by Sky that this could be all scrapped.
And BT, but I think no, they didn't say it could be scrapped. What they said is that they are unhappy about doing this, and they have registered the fact on people on the happiness. You've got a super chat from Daniel Anderson.
I honestly believe that two players could be the difference between competing for the top six and competing for winning the league. These players fit your system What's your thoughts on that, Kenny?
100% agree.
Yeah, are we two? I think are we more? Are we 2 or 3, or are we a bit more than 2?
I think what the thing is that in terms of like what we need, I am not happy with our right back situation. In terms of if you were to ask me who was the better right back out of Bellerin and Ainsley Maitland-Niles, you're talking about who's the best out of a bad bunch, because you've got Suarez as well, who again is a squad player. I think that's an area that if we really want to compete, we need to be getting a better class of right back. I still don't understand what Max Aarons is doing at Norwich City. That why don't we go in for him? I think that's an area where, you know, if you think of what Arteta was used to, you look at what Arteta was. But you look at what Arteta was getting at Man City with Walker. You know, I'm not saying that Aarons is a Walker, but he could be that kind of player that we need. You know what I mean? So that's another thing as well. We need a centre forward. Not who basically is going to be prepared to play the false number 9 and do a Firmino role, and then maybe
would Bamford be there?
Bamford?
Yeah, would you?
I'm not too funny, but I don't recognise Bamford. I remember him playing at Crystal Palace and not even getting a start under Pardew, and not being able to run. He ran like he had a sack on his back, so he's definitely improved his fitness. But I just think that those are 2 positions. Obviously, people talk about creative midfield, and I've got a great respect for that. But you know,
Danny Ings.
You can't. You look at his numbers. You can't say no. He's over his knee injury. He had bad knee injury when he left Burnley and went to Liverpool, and he was out for a lot of time. But he has recovered. You can't say no to that. You know, me and you've always had this argument where there's loads of players, British-born players, or players who've been playing these leagues, and they're right under our nose, but we're not going for them. I mean, I'm shocked that we went for Kieran Tierney. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't go abroad to get some of this world-class 17-year-old Spanish youth international who's going to be the next best thing in Spain and blah blah. He's or the next centre half's going to be the next Sergio Ramos. We got so many gems under our nose, but because they're English, don't get them. Oh, what do you do at Norwich? What do you do at Southampton? No, we're the Arsenal. We need to be getting better than that. Come on, man. If they're good enough, why are Liverpool going for them? Why are other clubs going for them? We're just letting them go because we're the Arsenal.
Yeah. And it's only scored 1 goal this season in the league, Aubameyang. Is it? Am I right?
Yeah, he's only scored 1 goal, but it's only been 5 games. You know what? You know what's happened, right? He gets a goal a day and he won't stop scoring.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, that happened with Kane, didn't it? Last year, didn't it? He stopped without scoring. Yeah. I know what you mean.
I don't think our manager's tactics and formations help him.
Yeah, I agree. They are. Everyone is missing the match day experience.
Epic's got a quick question.
Yeah. Do you think people are complaining? Is it because they are missing the match day experience? Are you missing the match day experience, Kenny?
To be honest, right, that's That's the best question ever. I can only answer this honestly and genuinely honestly. For me, I've been doing it for so long, right? You know, getting up, having arguments about a wife, about holidays, when to have them, and blah, 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 or who to visit, and what not to do, and getting time off. I think my wife is happy for a break from me going to matches. And I think if you didn't do it sometimes, mentally, I'm glad of a break. And I suppose I'm not missing it because of the things I'm thinking, phew, you know what? But I can understand someone who's a young lad, you know, he's got no responsibilities and everything, and he's looking forward to it. And yeah, I miss it, man. And I do get why people say why they do it. Or you've got someone who lives for match day. But match day experience is not just about going to the match; it's about seeing their friends at the pub. You know, gets to be in their little WhatsApp groups and go, whoa. You wait till you're going to be there at the Duke of Edinburgh. Yeah, I'll see you there. Don't worry. get them in for me, blah, blah. And then, you know, we're going to celebrate your birthday because we weren't able to do it in the week because you're doing it with your family. But we're going to talk about the match, but have a big drink with you. And it's that lovely experience of, you know, friends going to the games together. And I think that's what people do miss. But in terms of like, you know, the effort it takes to go to these matches, yeah, it can be a bit of a pain.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna,
yeah, as a Leicester fan who misses it as well, and I get where he's come from. It is. I can see what you mean. It's like, you know, the butterflies you get in your stomach. Not about the match happening, but the fact you're being a part of the atmosphere. Yeah, I get it. I get where you're coming from, mate.
Mr. Maker says Mustafi and Louise wouldn't survive the championship.
I don't think any of our players will survive the championship. People tackle there, Mr. Maker.
Kenny, next year, if all the wages are off the bill, could we attract a Neymar or Mbappe, especially with the decline in La Liga and no other good options? Yeah,
never say never in football. Never say never in football.
It's true because there is problems in La Liga at the moment, isn't there? Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
I think the problem with La Liga is that, and I mean, Real Madrid clearly have got money issues that they're playing all their games at their training grounds. You know what I mean?
Because I was watching that game yesterday, the Madrid Barcelona, and Messi don't look as if he wants to be there.
Well, not at all. You can't. The genie's out of the bottle. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. You know, you can't. He has got serious problems with Barcelona. I don't know whether it's money or the fact that he's looked at his rival Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, going to another league, leaving a life of Riley there, being the best player in that league, still winning trophies. You're thinking, hang on here, I've only been at Barcelona. And the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo is still able to earn all this big money after he's left Real Madrid. So I get where Messi's coming from. And, you know, there's people like me and Piers Morgan who think, well, you're not the best player in the world, Messi, because you haven't tested yourself elsewhere. So that's definitely going to be something. I don't think that's something that I'm sure has been mentioned to him in Spain by Real Madrid fans. So I can understand him outgrowing Barcelona.
Anyway, I'm gonna say call it time because we've been on air for about an hour, and Kenny, I know Kenny's got other things to do on a Sunday, and of course we've got the big game tonight. We'll be back again tonight with watch along 6:45 tonight. Don't forget, Claude and the Bouncers, me, Terry, and hopefully Diesel will be, if he's not, next to his bed post with some little another number. I don't know. Who knows? We hopefully can make his presence felt, but you know, he doesn't like kicking them out, especially on a
always
Sunday.
Ronaldo, Stan, always Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo's the best player in the world, Stan.
But anyway, so we'll look forward to that. Look forward to 6:45 tonight. Big game, Kenny. Let's. All right, we've got a couple of minutes, a few more minutes. I could keep you a few more minutes. Line up for tonight. Line up.
He's going to go with a 5, and that's going to kill us. He's going to go with Claude. He's going to go with a 5, and what's going to happen is that Leicester are going to be the home team today. But Leicester are going to be the ones on the front foot. We're going to try and hit them on the counter attack, and hoping that they're going to play the high line. If Leicester do what Man City did to us and play that high line and press into us and stop us from playing, they're going to murder us today. The way Mick Arteta's playing,
they've got a lot of injuries, Ken.
They've got a lot of injuries, but if they're tactically brave, they can have and practically brave, they can turn us over. Seriously, I'm not joking. I'm not saying it to be anti-Mick Arteta. His tactics and formations are making us a counter-attacking side, even at home. We're not getting the best out of Aubameyang. And basically, we are hard to beat. You know, we are very compact. Great, pleasing eye. But you know, you've got players like Pepe and Willian who you can't get back into the game. Can't get into the game because you're not on the front foot. You're not dominating possession. You're giving away too much possession to the opposition. And any possession we do get isn't great possession, like passing through possession. We're playing out the back, which I love, great. But we've got a goalkeeper who's a calamity. You've got a set, even without Vardy, Ihanacho is still going to be pressing from the front and trying to press into Leno and get into our centre halves to stop us from playing out the back. So these are issues we need to sort of look at. If we play a 4-3-3 and be on the front foot, we can go toe to toe with Leicester, and probably have all right. It's not going to be good for our hearts, but I do think that Arteta's a negative manager at the moment. He's negative. He's very. There's no doubt about it. He's not a Pep Guardiola. He's more like a Rafa Benitez and Unai Emery. He is like his fellow boss, Unai Emery. If Unai Emery was playing these tactics now, fans would be up in arms and asking to be removed for the job. I'm sorry, but you've got to say it. You've got to say it. Has Arteta improved Arsenal?
He's not really a cheerleader. Unai Emery wasn't a cheerleader, was he?
Yeah, but it's not even the case. You can't
cheerleaders. As you remember, we played cheerleaders. No cheerleaders.
Yeah, definitely. But the thing with Mikel Arteta, he means well, and I get why he's doing it. But however, he's not doing anything different than Emery in terms of like the way we're attacking and possession and shots and goal. We're having more shots and goal, less shots and goal from this manager than we had in the other manager. We're scoring less goals under this manager. Yet the last manager was a devil incarnate, and that's not a criticism. That's not a isolation. Not criticising Arteta. How he got the job is nothing. It's no good saying, why did he get... He's the man in possession. But is he doing a good job? He's doing I'll tell you one thing. He is putting square pegs round the holes. He's putting plaster over a wound football, right? Terry, and I know you're in the background, Terry Davis, you wanted something fresh. You wanted something fresh and insightful, something new. Not all these old coaches where you get the same old stuff. I wanted something fresh and exciting. Is the football we're playing fresh and exciting, Terry? Is it, Terry? It's not. It's no different we're playing before. It's safety first. Safety first. And the thing is, a lot of fans are noticing it. Even people who are squarely behind Mikel. And let's not doubt this now. Mikel is totally in charge of everything aspects of this club. And what he's doing right now is that, and I'm going to leave you to this, right? And it's going to be very controversial, but I thrive on controversy, but I give reasons for being controversial. Mikel Arteta does not rate these teams. He doesn't rate these players. If you rate these players, he'd be playing 4-3-3 and be playing expansive style. He doesn't rate them. He doesn't rate the midfield. He is limiting what this team could do because he doesn't think that this team can play the football that he was used to seeing at Man City. Now, you can tell me that I'm out of order and blah, blah, but it shouts that. These youngsters that people like yourself want to have a go, like, your Reece Nelsons and your Smith Rowes and all that, does he rate them?
Did winning the FA Cup raise expectations with the fans a bit?
Well, of course it did, because he won a trophy. He won a trophy. With the best thing since sliced bread. Aubameyang couldn't stop scoring, and we beat Chelsea and we beat City previously, and we beat Liverpool. So we did things that we weren't doing before. So of course he's going to be a hero. And he's going to get a free pass, but he hasn't really actually changed anything. He doesn't rate some of these young players. He doesn't. Saliba doesn't think Saliba is right for his teams, and he's very. And let's get it right. When Mikel Arteta first came to the club, he was very, very specific about what he wanted from his team. He wasn't messing around. Hence the fact that he made a couple of decisions. Major decisions were made. Hence the fact that you're not seeing certain players in the starting games, and you're not seeing certain players even getting in the squad. That tells me that a manager is not satisfied with the squad that he has, and he does not rate some of these players in key positions, and he clearly is not happy with midfield. For anyone to say anything, And for him to say that he's got his defined style, we're playing. He's got clear style. They're in Cloud Cuckooland. They're talking nonsense. They're talking absolute rubbish.
Yeah, exactly, Kenny. And well, we know when you say it as it is, Kenny, and that's why we love you, Kenny. That's why we love you. And say hello to Ken for me, Claude from Paul. Right? Yeah, definitely.
Hello, Paul.
Says hello, Kenny. Once again, I can't thank you enough for coming on today. I know you had your extra hour sleep though, didn't you? So you weren't complaining.
I'll tell you one thing, right? My wife said to me that she's either going to plait my hair or I'm going to have to see a barber. And you got people in the thing who say they want me to cut my beard. Trust me, the only thing you're getting close to a shaved beard is hi mate, is a Merv Hughes handlebar moustache.
Oh God. Right. Anyway, so then Kenny's now off back to the hairdressers then in a minute. So
are they open?
No, your wife's.
Yeah.
Right, never mind. Anyway, thank you everyone in the chat. Thank you. See you all later on. Be back, as I said, 6:45 tonight. Oh, it's going to be a big one, isn't it? It's I'm going to just answer that question as well before I go, because the intellectual asked me, is PEPE injured? I thought that when I read it, but now reading into it more, it seems to me that they're going on a thing about him not being photographed. So I wouldn't take it too seriously.
Claude, as I said before, there's something wrong in it. There's something wrong in all parts of social media when the Arsenal photographer gets 350,000 Twitter followers. It's ridiculous. He's only photographer. He ain't the Prime Minister of this country. He ain't the manager. He's a bloody photographer. Jesus Christ. What's going to happen now? Is the club mascot going to have 350,000 followers because he's a bloody club mascot?
Oh.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Didn't he?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. What we're going to do? The tea lady going to get some sort of residence for Arsenal followers as well because she's the tea lady? Come on. What are we getting to?
Oh, I don't know, Kenny. I don't know. But anyway, thank you. As I said, Kenny, thank you so much.
Claude, you know when I'm free, I'm all yours, mate. I'm all yours. I'm always going to come on your channel and everything. You got to remember. You got to remember.
I'm free. You remember the word John Inman? He said, "I'm free."
I'm free. Yeah, but the thing about you got to remember one thing. You got to remember. It's nice to help people out who help you, and it's nice sometimes, right, to not follow people who are trying to put someone down and bully them. You know, life's about second chances. We all make mistakes. We don't mean to, all right? We make mistakes. We make mistakes accidentally.
We're humans. We're not robots.
We're humans, and sometimes we say the things we didn't mean to do. Or we could be in a situation where we did nothing wrong, but bad things happen around us. So we're beaten with the same stick. All right?
Yeah.
I think it's about time people like me, you, and a good friend as well, living in Spain. He's back now anyway. I think it's about time that we stop being people's punch bags. Because if people got issues with other organisations, take it out with them. Don't blame me, you, and other people. Blame them and have it out with them. We didn't do. We're not part of the organisation.
Listen, Kenny, I you know what, mate? It gives them something to gossip about, and if it enhances their lives, good luck to them. To me now, I don't care anymore what they think of me.
Of course not, because not.
I know what I'm about.
Exactly.
You know what you're about. I know what I'm about. So why should I give a shit?
Exactly. Why should you?
I don't even know.
As I said to Lee 2 weeks ago.
Comments about me.
Right.
I don't give a shit, Kenny. As I said, someone the other day said about the way I present the show. Don't like it, don't switch off. That's it. All I can say. That's all I'm going to say to it. But all feedback is Kenny's just gone off a bit. I think that's his phone going. Anyway, everyone, as I say, Kenny, I think he's gone. I think. Take care, everyone. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Kenny there. I think he's gone. Has he gone? Yeah. Or is it my end? Is it my end? Yeah, I think he's gone. Yeah, so listen, take care, everyone. Have a lovely day. And hopefully tonight we can have an enjoyable evening with a good Arsenal win. Take care, everyone. Oh, Kenny coming back to say goodbye?
And
say a quick goodbye, Kenny.
So, yeah, I just want to say goodbye. I just want to reiterate a point. Claude, you could...
The match kick off past 30, you know,
yeah,
didn't you?
I know, but you know what I mean? You could push one of the people persecuting you out of a moving lorry and they still hate your guts. You can give them your left kidney and they still hate you. Forget them. They're not bothered about you. They're not good. They don't want you to do well. They don't care about you. They're not important.
As I said, Kenny, I appreciate feedback if it's honest and I work on it, and I always appreciate feedback. If you want to get personal, as I said, sticks and stones
don't break
my nose.
Exactly.
Sticks and stones
can break your bones, but names can never hurt you.
That's it. There we go.
Look, the way you've got to look at it this way, right? Let's debate. Let's talk about it like adults.
Oh, there's a Cowboys in the building. John, how are you, John?
Yeah. How you doing, John? But as I said before, let's have a debate. Let's not insult each other. Let's just talk. Talk about it. You got something to discuss about our methods, about how we conduct ourselves, in terms of how in terms of our views on the football club. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Don't try and muzzle us and bully us and silence us. Tell us where we're going wrong, why you think we're wrong, and we can tell you why we're doing this.
Yeah,
that's all.
It's all a matter of, it's not worth
Anyway,
getting.
I've definitely got to leave you anyway.
Yeah, I've got to go. We've all got to go. Cheerio, everyone.
Cheerio.
See you later. Have a lovely day.
Have a day.